defenses have played so very, very well. Union against Muskogee last week and really most of the season. Also Broken Arrow. Not only did they beat Jinx, but they really shut down an awesome offense that the Trojans have. So look for the defenses to be pretty good in the middle. Whoever wins the outside will be the winner
we will
tonight.
have the opening kickoff and lift the curtain to this drama. Broken Arrow and Union, a very key game for both teams. Union needs a win to have a home field advantage for the playoffs next week. We'll come back with the kickoff in a moment. The injured player you see on the field is Russell Green. Unfortunately, for the second straight year, injuries have curtailed his VA Tiger career. As you took a look at Shirkan, the tiger from Safari's Exotic Wildlife Sanctuary. Johnny Sherblank, the effervescent one, is our referee tonight. He is a lot of fun, and what a group we have tonight. As you see, the toss of the coin, and apparently Union will receive the football as Broken Arrow deferred.
Talk about the officials, Don. 129 years of accumulative officiating experience with Johnny Sherblank's crew here. He's the referee. Bob Hastings, the umpire. John Watson, the linesman. The line judge is Rick Roberts. And Don Gassaway, 41 years, started officiating when he was 18 years old. He is the back judge, so that's quite a crew.
Well, Union is 8-1 overall, number 3 in the state. And again, a victory for the Redskins gives them at least a home field advantage for next week's playoffs. Meanwhile, Broken Arrow is 7-2. Both are 4-1 in District 6A3. Also in district play, I think I said 4-1, 5-1. Also in district play, no, 4-1 is correct. Or 5-1 rather, 5-1, and also Jinx at 5-1. Again, Union, according to the Associated Press, is number 2, Broken Arrow number 5. Broken Arrow can win its first district championship since '83, but the Redskins, who've won 6 in a row in this series, stand in their way. What a series it has been between these two neighborhood rivals. A Tiger loss would drop Broken Arrow all the way to 4th place in the playoffs. Union is playing again for 2nd place in a home field advantage, and here come the Tigers under head coach Rick Jones in his 2nd year, going 16-5. Bill Blankenship in his 5th year at Union, 46-14. Blankenship replaced Rick Jones, who coached at Union 2 years before going to Southwest Missouri State in Springfield as an assistant. Last week, VA pulls off the upset of previously unbeaten and top-ranked Jinx 17-14 in Jinx. Meanwhile, here on TCI, Union took care of Muskogee 28-7 to set up this battle. And last year, JB, what a ball game it was, 21-16 before the 2nd largest crowd at Union Tunnel Stadium history. Over 12,000 to watch. Again, a 21-16 affair won by Union. Broken Arrow was driving late in the game, got it inside the Union 20, but Derek Duvall intercepted a pass, and it was all over after that.
And if you want to take a look at this game on paper, Don, I think you would expect the same type of game this year, but I keep coming back to what we mentioned in the open, the emotion that both of these teams went through in their big wins last week. A Union beating Muskogee and doing a pretty good job of it, and of course the big upset that the Broken Arrow team did over Jinx. And sometimes on a high school level it's hard to bring those kids back to reality, and to try to keep them at that level has really been a challenge for both coaching staffs this week. But as we said, Bill Blankenship and Rick Jones, 2 of Oklahoma's finest, why I'm sure that they're going to be ready to go. That's what makes it such an exciting game here tonight in Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow opened their season losing at Sepulpa. Then they rattled off consecutive shutout wins over Fort Smith, Southside, Bartlesville, Memorial, and Rogers. Beat Tahlequah here a few weeks ago. Lost to Muskogee in a shootout, 42-34. Rebounded by pounding Owasso, 53-15. Last week they beat Jinx, and here they are, poised for a possible district championship. Could be their first one since 1983, the first year these two teams ever met each other. Right on the goal line, and Johnny Sherblank doesn't play with it. And Chris Schultheis gets to the 20-yard line, and he's lucky to get that far.
kind of a delay there. A lot of times when that happens, why the kickoff team will really go past them and let them get the ball back out much farther than normal.
Here's a look at the offense. Poteet with 19 touchdown passes. Martin, he's their leading rusher. Johnson's the sophomore in that group. And Corey Klein, another sophomore. All-Staters Steve Weedover and Brandon Bearnaghy on the strong side. Look for them a lot. They like to run the traps and the counters. Poteet with a wide out to each side and a man in the slot. This is Martin on the delay. Nowhere to go. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Rene Torres, 6'1", 245 junior, leads the way. Torres, the boys in the middle. Ramon Richardson, a darn good defensive end. Bollinger, Farquhar, and Fletcher, a nice trio at linebacker. Wallace is the veteran out of that defensive secondary. Burke leads them in interceptions. Loss of a yard. Second down, 11. Poteet quickly upstairs. Schulteis gets it. Nathan Burke makes the tackle, and a gain of about 7 up near the 26-yard line. Let's listen to some of the coaches, the two head coaches, see what one of them had to say before the start of this game.
Well, Jack, I sure hope so.
Bill Blankenship, you know, he just really does such a tremendous job, makes a great presence on television as well, and he's got those Redskins ready tonight.
Against the Tigers.
You saw the penalty as one of the linemen jumped in the encroachment area for Broken Arrow, and so that, once it's marked off, will be very close to a first down for the Union Redskins. Come into this game averaging 34 points a game.
The big key for the Broken Arrow defense has to be in the secondary, Don, and if they're able to stop Sherrod Poteet, has had a very good year passing, 19 touchdowns he's thrown for this year. Why, it's going to be a big responsibility on the defensive secondary. But they did a great job against Jinx last week.
Third down and 1 from the 31. We just started from Kirkland Field, a minute and a half gone in the game. Union with the first possession of the game, and they're going to score. They're going to throw, rather, on third and short, and the sophomore Johnson has the first down as the safety. Chris Klimas made the stop. Wow, what a call that is, as Jared Mendenhall, one of the assistants, is popping Johnson on top of the hat. Look at this.
Nice setup back there by Sherrod Poteet. He drills that thing right in there. And, you know, that's certainly an outstanding young player we're going to read more and more about, and that's Michael Johnson, just a sophomore.
Nothing doing there. Ramon Richardson's 44. 42 is one of the linebackers, second leading tackler on the team. That's Dustin Fletcher. So Scotty Martin's had 2 runs and nowhere to go. Loss of a yard.
Really, and Don, he's averaged, what, almost 7 yards per carry over the season, but Broken Arrow defense giving a little, but they are sure not giving very much.
Poteet, quick drop. He and Mike Hobbs couldn't connect. So it's third down, 11. And there's a flag down. Again, this is the 12th meeting between these two schools. Union has won the last 6. We've seen some dandy games in this series, JB.
Well, we always go back and recall that one when it was 5-3. What year was that? That was 1991, 5-3. And baseball scored. Been some strange games.
Yes, it was. And Rick Jones was coaching for Union at that time. And he said it's one of the darndest teams he's ever seen. In that game, Broken Arrow dominated the game, but only led 3-0 late. Had the ball in the end zone to our left, the south end zone. Late in the game, decided to take a safety and then free kick. Union drove down and kicked the game-winning field goal on the last play of the game to win it 5-3. Poteet has to move around a bit. Now he's going to have to run on third and long. He's hard to bring down, and he's got a Union first down. Rick Jones says he's a linebacker and quarterback.
Well, that's a very good description, because you saw in this play right here, as we come back on the replay, that he goes back and sets up and shows pass. I think he really wants to pass. He can't find anyone. So finally he decides he's going to run, and he gets right near the line of scrimmage. He'll get that arm up one more time and try it. There he goes. He's trying to, you know, like he's going to pass it. Little clip coming in there.
There was a clip.
pretty obvious it was a clip coming in from behind. But Poteet supposedly has a very tender left shoulder, but he never lets on like he has it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a grade 1 separation of the left shoulder. Well, Union on 3rd and 11 saw Poteet weave his way for a first down.
For a clipping foul.
So that hurts the Redskins with 2.5 minutes gone. First period, no score.
Those are the mistakes that coaches just pull their hair out. They don't like to see them happen once you have a good game.
Ball on the 21 where it's 3rd and 16 now. Senior has some time. Now it breaks down on him. Torrey's giving chase. He's got a man who couldn't hang on. At the 36, that's the tight end Brian Blackwood. Maurice Wallace on the defense. And I'm not sure Blackwood could have got the first down as Wallace was in the territory.
I think Sherrod Poteet demonstrated his blue-collar ability as a quarterback on that play when it appeared that, you know, that he was going to be maybe thrown for a loss and not make any at any rate, and then is able to get the pass off.
Well, now another flag against the Redskins. And now they're starting to go backwards. Chop block, they'll decline it. So they'll bring on the punting team. Some teams would move you back and say, well, go for it again on 3rd down. We think we've got the defense to do it, but they certainly respect Union's offense enough to just get the ball here.
You can't be gambling like that.
Kevin Tolles, starting wide receiver, will drop back for Ben Robertson on the season. Roberts averaging 36 yards a punt. Wobbly kick. That one will hit Schulteis at the 37-yard line, and 3 minutes gone opening period. When we come back, Broken Arrow will get the football for the first time. Side put 42 on them, 52 on Farmington, New Mexico, 60 on Rogers, 52 on Memorial, 45 in Owasso, 61 on Tahlequah, and beat Muskogee last week 28-7. Here's Broken Arrow on 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. We'll take a look at their offensive lineup after a game won by Bresnahan, their leading rusher, along with Cantrell's their leading rusher. Bresnahan's a veteran. Jeremy's brother Kevin, one of the receivers. Ben Tripp, the tight end. Offensive line that sees Lomas and Herricker both at 240 on the right side. They'll go to them a lot. 2nd down 9. Up the gut, Cantrell. Boy, he hits that hole quick. You got to be ready for him. He crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line. 69, Ben McGinnis makes the stop. There's a look at the defensive line. Jeff Smith was our player of the game last week. Weedover, an all-state candidate. The linebackers have been brilliant lately. Philpott had a tremendous game last week. Nagy also playing well. There's the secondary. It's very steady. So after a gain of about 2, it's 3rd down and 7, and Tolles is on the move. Swakoski near midfield, and Jared Swakoski is very close to that first down marker.
Chris Schulteis coming up making the tackle, a little 5'9", 156-pound defensive back for the Redskins. And both defenses, as far as the secondary is concerned, Don, playing just a little soft tonight. They're not going to take any chances and get burnt here early.
Let's hear from Rick Jones, head coach of the Broken Arrow Tigers.
We really have. I think that this group has improved as much as any group I've ever had. We started off slow, to say the least, losing obviously the first game to Sepulpa. The kids kept playing hard, kept practicing hard, and I think that was the key.
Mark Bresnahan, the 5'7", 160 senior, who established himself as a very good kicker. He kicked what is now the longest field goal in BA history earlier this year with a 51-yard field goal. So if it comes down to the kicking game, Broken Arrow feels they're just as good as Union. And that's saying something. 2nd down 4 from the Union 45-yard line. Broken Arrow's first possession of the game. Tolles puts it on the ground, and it's out of bounds.
Very good defense that time by Union. They really had the option solved. They were filling the gaps and just forced them almost into a fumble. But you mentioned the kicking game, Don. I tell you what, we're seeing 2 outstanding high school kickers here tonight, and just one of them couldn't win this game with a field goal late in the 4th quarter.
You are so right. And both have the range to do so from long range. Both have the capacity to hit one from 50. No wind tonight. Although it's a windy day, it's just a breeze now. It's no factor whatsoever. Out of the eye, Cantrell needs about 4. He's not going to get it. He'll get 1, and that's about it. Mike Cox, you see there, one of the co-captains, likes what he sees, and he'll probably drop back to receive the punt.
Union in a 5-man front that time and just filling every gap, taking care of each of their responsibilities, and just no way that they were going to give up much yardage.
Nathan Burke, who plays wide out on offense and defensive back, that big interception last week against Jinx, is the punter. And on the season, he's averaging 35.5 yards a carry. He is suffering a little bit with a banged-up shoulder, but he's playing tonight. Why not when you're playing for the league championship? This will be down, and Union will start again deep in their own territory, and that's what Broken Arrow wants to do, keep Union pinned deep in their own territory as Bill Blankenship offers instructions to the senior quarterback.
Well, both teams have had the possession of the football one time. Not much showing offensively for either team, Don, so kind of reminds me of a boxing match. They're sparring around, feeling one another out.
Ball at the 12-yard line after the 32-yard punt, and boy, live television didn't hurt the gate tonight, did it? It's standing room only. It's a great crowd. Another great crowd. This community is sensational when it comes to supporting this football program.
And I think everyone would agree this is a beautiful little stadium. Visiting with Ken Ellett before the game, logistically it's very difficult to put on a football game here because of parking and concession and restrooms, but when it's filled like it is tonight, it's a beautiful high school setting.
Certainly has been talk to build a new stadium on their new campus. Well, about 4 yards here up the middle for the Redskins.
Turnaway crowds like they've had tonight will force a new stadium, or at least expansion of seating for this one.
Yeah. After a gain of 4, George McKnight's their tailback, and we've got a penalty here apparently. No score, 5:47 to go here in the opening period. Each team's had the ball once. Union's on their second possession. Johnny Sherblank against Broken Arrow. That's the second time they've been offsides, and that'll give Union a 3rd down and 1 from the 21. Johnny Sherblank last week was part of the TV crew last week on the University of Tulsa football game with New Mexico. They were televising the game back to Albuquerque. He was what you call the red cap. I'll get into that in a moment. 3rd and 1. Poteet looks for a hole, pass it, and as you can tell, it takes 3 or 4 to usually bring him down. So Johnny wears a red cap. He's the guy that runs out onto the field and makes sure the referees don't start play until the TV crew is back from their commercial break. Johnny had a red cap on. After the game, I asked him, I said, where'd you get that red cap? It was a hunting cap. I knew he didn't really do any hunting. He said, well, I found a red cap. They said I needed a red cap. They forgot to bring one, so I hunted all over town, and the only thing I could find was with an OU insignia, and since I'm from TU, at a TU game I wasn't about to wear an OU cap, so I searched all over town and finally found one that didn't have anything on it. That sounds just like him.
That's just like Johnny Sherblank. And if you noticed, if you were at the TU game last Saturday, his mechanics as the field control person there was tremendous, just like it is here. Nice run in there by George McKnight. He and Scott Martin make such a great switch off there for Union.
They really do. The transfer from Washington has it again, needing to get to the 35, does so, and then a little bit of change. Maurice Wallace, 17. 6'1", 172 senior. Free safety, trying to lead this defense against George McKnight and the Redskins, who will come up with a couple of first downs here on this drive from the 12, now out to the 36. Poteet play action. Flips it to Blackwood. Near midfield. Wallace brought him down. Broken Arrow crowd wanted a flag on the play as one of the Union players, Brian Hobbs, a sophomore, right at the last instant. You might see it here after the catch. leveled one of the Tigers.
That's just a nice throw on the run by Poteet. Makes him so dangerous, and you'll see it right there after the whistle had blown. No flag, but that was close.
So Blackwood gives him a first down up at the 49. Pitch to McKnight, the transfer from Washington. Nowhere to go. Ramon Richardson, 44, leading the way. He's a 6'3", 250-pound senior, averaging 8 tackles a game and leads them in sacks as well with 6. He was a transfer from Memorial. Loss of a yard on the play. .345 to go opening period. No score, but Union has it at midfield, and Poteet wants to go on time. Oh, almost intercepted. Kevin Tolles got one hand on it. This Broken Arrow team can hang with pass defense against Union. They've got 14 picks on the season.
That was a great defensive play in there by Kevin Tolles. You'll see him here go up high, gets just almost was able to react and come back. It was tipped out of the Union receiver's hands, and Tolles almost made a remarkable play on it.
Of course, the key to Union stopping them on pass defense is putting some pressure on Poteet. 3rd down and 11. Screen pass, looked like it was set up. That's pretty much a throwaway right there to Mike Hobbs. Broken Arrow defended it well, and Union will have to punt here with 3.5 minutes to go opening period.
And again, just a very good job there by the defense for the Broken Arrow Tigers. You know, we talk about Johnny Sherbank. My favorite story on Johnny Sherbank was in Moscow when we went over there with the Sooner Stampede, Dan Crookham, and the first call that was made in Dynamo Stadium in Moscow was a holding penalty. He jumps out and does his holding signal, and there were some ruffians there in Moscow that were giving him the signal back the opposite.
Roberts' last punt was for 34. This one's a little bit better. Higher, hits at the 20 and down at the 21-yard line. When we come back, we'll visit with Oklahoma Channel 8's Jack Buttons down on the field. We'll come back, no score.
Defense as we expected early on. Now we'll see if Broken Arrow, second possession, if they can move the football. They moved it pretty decently on the ground. See what they do this first time out.
And trail to the 30. Come up 40. What a block at midfield. Ouch. These two teams, it's quite a rivalry. And a 32-yard pass play to the speedster, Matt Cantrell, 5'8", 175 junior.
I think you'd have to agree. That's another nice pass on the move by the quarterback Tolles, and a good bring in there by Matt Cantrell. Some good downfield blocking to spring him loose. He keeps fighting for extra yardage that he possibly can, but hey, these two teams, both offenses, Don, just might do anything, anytime.
At the 47-yard line, and the same can be said for the defense. Chris Padley, who's in for Bear Nagy at linebacker, makes the play on Bresnahan. Loss of a yard, and it just seems like both teams can't do anything much on first down, and they're always facing 2nd and 11. 32-yard pass play from Tolles to Cantrell. Jeremy Tolles has improved, I think, quite a bit passing-wise, hitting 53% this season. That one looking for Richardson, a tight end. And Neerman, number 30, the strong safety, applying the defense.
I don't think Ramon was ready for that one. He just looked like maybe there had been some signals mixed up in there, but got away from there. Pretty lucky without an interception.
Number 2 you see in your screen is Joel Eilerts. He's their leading tackler at 10 per game.
Those young fans in Broken Arrow and Union, they come out and they stay with their teams.
It is interesting, isn't it, how these two teams, there are a lot of kids on the Union program that actually live in Broken Arrow. So these kids know each other quite well. 3 receivers to the right, Trent, and Tolles tries to run the screen, the quarterback draw rather, and he'll get a yard, and that's it. It looked like the nose tackle, Jess Smith, was waiting on him. Smith has been, I think, one of the best defensive linemen in the state this year. He's played very well. He's the only junior to start on defense for Union.
And he got a little help in there at that time as well. Looked like Chris Hadley was in there and a couple of others was in there. And I tell you what, they stay home and do their job, the defensive players up on that front line.
Mike Hobbs awaits the punt. He stands at his 10-yard line, and Nathan Burke's first punt of the game was good for 32. English blocks it. Another block by Jeff English. Burke needs a block. Look out, 50, 45, near the 40-yard line. He's well shy of the first down, but he turned a disaster into something positive, although they didn't get the first down. There is a flag down on the play. Jeff English, who's had several blocks this year on punts, came slicing through. And an illegal block, a chop block against BA. You can't block below the waist on kicks. Look at this again.
Oh, that's just a great move in there, Don, by Jeff English, getting in there blocking it. And what a reaction as well by Nathan Burke, and able to pull it down from the block. And then he's able to at least get a few yards downfield. He couldn't get the first down, but he picks up some pretty good blocking and just runs it well on his own. But you see the flag going there on the chop block that was called by the linesman in there. Don, two players we see a lot of tonight here on the field. Number 36, an outside linebacker for the Broken Arrow Tigers, Randy Bollinger. Had the privilege of being on the coaching staff when he was playing at Edison High School. What a player he was. You talk about someone who would hit you.
Randy's dad.
Randy's dad. He would hit you. And then over on the other side, number 59, we've got Randy Nagy. Well, I tell you what, his father would also just hit you. Randy was just a great player for us at Edison.
Poteet throws it outside, and I tell you what, two Tigers, Burke and it looks like Chris Klimas, both had a shot at it.
Kind of makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yes.
Nice setup and a nice throw in there by Poteet. Oh, I tell you what, that football's a game of inches. We talk about it a lot, and just inches away there for an interception by Nathan Burke.
So you coached two fathers, two people in this game whose sons are playing tonight against each other.
That's right. Brandon or Bear Nagy and his father, Randy Nagy, was an outstanding athlete at Edison, along with Tony Bollinger, who's the father of Randy Bollinger.
2nd and 10 for Sherrod Poteet. 19 touchdown passes on the year. The draw, Scotty Martin. Look at him jitterbug. To the 40, to the 35-yard line of Broken Arrow. And Scotty Martin has the biggest play for the Redskins here with a minute and a half to go opening period. He's their leading rusher, averaging 6.5 yards a carry.
You know, again, Poteet sets up like maybe he is going to pass, and he's got that little draw play, and utilizing your blockers is what Scotty Martin does so well. As you said, he moves those feet. He jitterbugs here, jitterbugs there, and nice game.
Martin on the loose again. Close to another first down near the 25-yard line, and the offensive line really opening some holes for little Scotty Martin. He is 5'4", 140 pounds, and on the season, he has 725 yards rushing. We're going to measure here. Johnny Sherblank and his crew will measure, and Jim Trickett hasn't been wrong in 4 years. Says first down.
By 2 inches,
yeah,
he
and
says.
Remember last week, he was emphatic it was a first down. He had a bad angle at it and got it by a third of the football. Let's see how close he is tonight.
Oh, that isn't even close, according to
He's
Jim.
a machine over here. So Martin has ripped off runs of 22 and 10 yards, and they're in scoring opportunity now. This is the first time in Broken Arrow territory. Tight end Blackwood sets up on the left. Johnson, you see him at the top of your screen, number 25. He's in the slot to the right. They're changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Two receivers to the right for the senior quarterback, Poteet. They go to Martin on the sweep. Bang! Kevin Tolles comes up from the secondary and introduces himself to Scotty Martin. And there's another flag down.
You know, at this point, you really think that he's going to get some good yardage out of it, but suddenly out of nowhere, Kevin Tolles comes in and gets a lot of help, and there is no gain there.
Well, we'll have to see what the penalty is about. Motion, maybe. Former director of the Hurricane Club says motion and decline. 2nd and 10 from the Broken Arrow 26.
You never wonder what is called when Johnny Chablank's a referee. His mechanics could be used for clinics anywhere.
Well, the Redskins trying to get on the board first. We're under a minute remaining, opening period, no score. This is the biggest threat of the game for either team. Martin's 3rd straight run. Scotty Martin down to about the 12-yard line. This kid's tough to bring down, and he, as you say, he's a great compliment to McKnight, who's much bigger, a slasher. Martin's kind of a guy that wiggles his way around.
Oh, he just kind of squirms by you, and then McKnight will come in and run over you or run around you. But I tell you, Scott Martin is really tough, and he made a great run right there, right past a defensive player right at the line of scrimmage.
There's your first quarter clock. Uh-oh, loose football. It's kicked around. Broken Arrow's recovered, but the whistle had blown. A flag was down. I think they're going to call motion against Union. Now they're going to talk and see if it was a dead ball. If it was, Union retains possession, and I think they will, for the way Johnny is acting. Yeah, first down. And the Broken Arrow crowd won't like that one. Right now, Union is shooting themselves in the foot. Penalties have hurt them here in this opening period.
They really have, Don, and they're so important that you don't like to see those happen because you like to take advantage of everything that you can get. But that was kind of lucky there that they got the penalty. They lost the football.
Yeah, you're right. Last play of the opening period, perhaps. Johnson. Tough to bring down. Klimas does it, along with Randy Bollinger, that linebacker that JB was talking about, whose father played for JB. That's the end of the opening period. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and long for the Union Redskins. They are threatening. We have no score. Inside the 20-yard line at the Broken Arrow 16, where they face a 2nd down and 16. He's our leading receiver. He's caught 21 balls this year.
You know, they talked about that play at the change of possession on the quarter, Don, because he drops back, Poteet does, looks right, and then he just immediately threw that lob pass to Hobbs in the far corner of the end zone there.
Let's take a look at the first quarter stats. Union 7 first downs to Broken Arrows 2. Union 71 yards rushing to 17 for BA, and Poteet right now in the game 4 of 9 for 28 yards. Thank you, Jim Trickett, master statistician. 3rd down and long from the 16-yard line over the middle. That's close and should be a first down. We'll just see where they mark it. Chris Schultheis makes the catch. And for Schultheis, the senior has hauled in his 16th catch of the year.
That's just a nice pass and a good route that Chris Schultheis ran there. He goes down about 8-9 yards, comes across that middle, and looks the ball right into the breadbasket. He's not going to take any chance on that.
1st and goal from the Broken Arrow 2, and Schultheis made a big catch there. It gives me an opportunity to apologize for a comment made a couple of weeks ago, which I was talking about the coaches really making a great service to these players and leading them down the right path. And then I mentioned Schultheis' name and maybe led people to believe as well the penalty here against Union make it 2nd and goal from the Broken Arrow 6. And I think I misled at least the Schultheis family in my comment that maybe Chris Schultheis needed to be led down that particular road, and that's not the case whatsoever. Chris coming from a good family, and I apologize to the Schultheis family. But there are certainly some players on the Broken Arrow side that Rick Jones has helped, and it's been well documented in the papers and the media that some of these kids that he has taken over, that transferred into this program, like a Ramon Richardson, Maurice Wallace, who were having problems, whether it be academically or what, and with Rick Jones' discipline and leadership, he's helped turn them around. Scotty Martin back to the 2-yard line. So the 5-yard penalty doesn't do anything but waste it down for the Redskins, and it'll be 2nd and goal here with a minute gone, 2nd period, and we have no score.
And coaches do so much, Don, that it never gets out into the public in helping youngsters, not only on and off the field, but you'd be surprised, and I know this from experience, how many times that kids will come to you because they feel like that they can talk to a coach, and a lot of times kids don't feel comfortable talking to someone else, and they'll seek a coach out, and a lot of that sort of thing happens.
Scotty Martin leads Union with 8 touchdowns on the year. Poteet into the end zone, however, and the Redskins are on the board first early in the 2nd period. That offensive line just pushing a hole, pushing that defensive line back, and pretty easy for the senior quarterback.
You could see number 51 in there, Greg Tillman, just bowing his neck and going, and Poteet right behind him.
Ben Roberts into the tree, and it is good. 49 of 49 this year for Ben Roberts on PATs. Minute 24 gone in the 2nd quarter from Kirkland Field, and Union leads 7-0. Have to remember the punt was blocked by Jeff English near midfield. Scotty Martin did a lot of work on that drive. He accounted for 45 running yards, actually 50 of the 58 yards on the drive accumulated to Scotty Martin on the ground, and then the big pass play on 3rd and long down to the 2-yard line to Chris Schultheim. So that's where we stand, 7-0, and here's Ben Roberts kicking into the end zone. That's an automatic touchback, and the Tigers take over. First down at their own 20-yard line.
You know, as we go into the last game of the season and last game of district play, it's kind of interesting to see how the coaches predicted this race. They predicted Jinx, Muskogee, Broken Arrow, and Union in that order. Jinx number 1, Union number 4, and I tell you what, they knew the 4 best teams. They just didn't know how to put them in the right order, maybe.
Pretty much the case in this district.
Yes.
This is such a tough district. I think when you put the top 4 teams in this district year in and year out, it's about the best there is.
Well, people will argue that they're always in a tough district, but I'll tell you, they put a good case here with those 4 teams.
I think the other district might be a little stronger from top to bottom.
Yes.
But this district, when you put the top 4 teams, I'll match these top 4 against anybody in the state.
Well, one thing, if you make the playoffs, you've done something, yeah.
Jeremy on the option, nowhere to go. And that's one thing right there. You saw him eat the ball for no gain. In the past, an inexperienced Jeremy Toles would try to force that and make something happen. That is a good example of how he has matured as a quarterback.
You're right, Don, and here you get a real good picture that there's just no way he feels that he can make the pitch, because there was a defensive player out here you couldn't see in your picture, and there was no way he's going to take a chance on it.
Look at this, the wishbone. Fake to Cantrell. Nowhere to go again. Joel Eilers. Well, he's having an all-conference season. I don't think there's any doubt. 6'4", 200-pound senior linebacker. He's our leading tackler, 3rd leading tackler in the league.
And he stayed home. He did his job. He got through there. It was a good fake in there off the bone by Toles, but the defense didn't take it. And just a nice play by Joel Eilers.
Some of the youngsters enjoying the action. Boy, they start him early in Broken Arrow and Union. 3rd and 15. Toles again has to run for his life. Look out, he's down at the 2-yard line. Bear Nagy with the sack. Back-to-back sacks on the senior quarterback, and Broken Arrow will have to punt deep in their own territory.
This is really a big defensive series here, and you see Nagy getting back inside and giving chase. Here he comes into the picture. He just makes a flying tackle at the ankles and is able to get him down. But that was a big defensive series, because they certainly did not want Broken Arrow to come right back and strike back and get on the board. So they've done their job.
Rick Jones smiling with Jeremy. Nathan Burke's got his hands full here. This will be his 3rd punt of the game. Remember, they blocked the last one. Mike Hobbs awaits the punt at the Broken Arrow 40-yard line. So the Redskins should get good field position. Nice kick. He got it away.
Oh, that was.
Oh, and it gets by the return man Hobbs at the 45, and he's going to be down there. What coverage by the Tigers. Great effort by the guys in black. Number 45 leading the way was Scott Smith, a junior linebacker, and Matt Cantrell. Hess and the rest of the TCI crew enjoying a great evening at Kirkland Field in BA. 1st and 10 from the Broken Arrow 45. Redskins lead 7-0, and they have the ball in great field position. And the tight end Brian Blackwood, who's playing with a bum knee, makes the catch on Kevin Tolles, and he's got the Redskins rolling again with their 9th first down of the game. That's a pass play of 18.
Sherrod Poteet runs this play awfully well. Gets a good fake into the line, neutralizes those linebackers, and goes out to his left side, picks up his big tight end and lays it right over into him. Nice pass. Good quick tackle in there by Kevin Tolles as well.
McKnight on the sweep to the short side. Cuts it back. A lot of black shirts. That's the gang tackling that Pat McGrew, the defensive coordinator, likes after a gain of 3. This is a series that goes back. It's been continually played since 1986. In fact, Broken Arrow won the first 2 games between the two schools. 2nd and 7 from the Broken Arrow 23-yard line. Tight end on each side. McKnight on the trap. He's close to the first down. Fletcher, 42, combining with David Irvin, the cornerback, number 34, to make the stop. That should be close to the first down marker.
Here we see some good strong running in there by George McKnight. Busts the tackle there, picks up a couple of more yards. Just good, strong, north to south running.
It's going to be a yard short. McKnight stood up by Fletcher. Tolles brings him back, and we'll just see whether they mark it. That's going to be close. I'm not sure he made it. Jack, I don't know if you're at an angle, but I don't think he made it.
You know, it looks like it is right on the mark, so it's hard to tell whether he got it. I think they're going to have to take a closer look at it. The thing that's interesting, got to be tough for Broken Arrows. They say it is a first down, is the fact that you're seeing Scotty Martin, short and quick. As we said, we kind of related him to a Barry Sanders type running back. Then you got George McKnight, and not to pick on OSU or single them out, but it's kind of like then Thurman Thomas comes into the game or something like that. Very, very tough for the defense of Broken Arrow. And keep in mind, both these guys are getting a lot of rest, too, in between series.
And then when you start concentrating on the run, and Poteet running up the middle, and as hard a runner as he is, you forget he's thrown for 19 touchdowns this year as he bowls his way inside the 10-yard line with hard, determined running.
You know, determination plays such a tremendous factor in any sport, and you talk about the blue-collar worker there. While he's going to pass the ball, now you see might be a little nippy right there on his shoulder, but he'll be right back in that huddle calling the play. But he's dangerous, Don, just on that quarterback sneak. Just take it and bull your way through there.
Last week, 28-7. They pretty much have Muskogee wrapped up in the 4th quarter. He looks to be stung a bit. He's running down the sideline, as Union called it. Poteet last week running down the sideline. The game's tucked away. He didn't run out of bounds. He tried to run over a rougher of Muskogee, and Blankenship's telling him, what in the world are you doing? Just get out of bounds. Here's McKnight for first down on 2nd and 1, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Redskins, and they're chewing up the clock midway in the 2nd quarter.
And John, if you remember on that particular play, he was coming around the right side of the line and has to go with his left shoulder, which is the tender one. He has to go with it on the contact. So that guy, he just he has a football. He wants to make every yard he can and put his body right in there on it to do it.
McKnight's the quarterback, or rather the running back. They alternate the series with the two, and McKnight's got a touchdown. Well, we talked about Broken Arrow with a lot at stake tonight, a district championship. Union has a lot at stake in this game after handling Muskogee last week. We'll take a look at McKnight's 8th touchdown of the year. They've got a home field advantage for the playoffs at stake if they win this game.
You youngsters watching that replay, you notice that George McKnight has both hands on that football when he goes through that line.
And look at that. Ben Roberts sent a bullet heading toward the uprights, and it sails off to the right. Timeout on the field with 5:37 to go. The Tigers will get it back.
Right. With Jack Bunch. Jack?
Okay, but he actually got fingers poked into his eye. There wasn't a stinger or shoulder or any problem like that. Looks like he'll be okay, though, and he'll be able to stay in the football game, although they are warming up the second and third string quarterbacks over there.
All right, for those that might not have caught it, a finger in the eye of Sherrod Poteet. And so they are indeed warming up the backup quarterbacks. That would be Michael Cox and Josh Blankenship. We'll look at some of the Tiger fans on their feet wanting some offense. 5:37 to go before halftime. 13-0 Union, and Jeremy Tolles back in to direct the offensive possession here for BA. This will be their 4th series of the game. Cantrell, not much. Jess Smith, 52, clogging up the middle, and then he waits for help and gets it from Chris Padley, 58.
Very good defense here in the first half by the Union Redskins, evident by the score. Shutting out the Broken Arrow Tigers.
You know, Union's defense, which gave up so many big plays last year and a lot of points, but this year it's been a different story. They've been more of a reactionary type defense, and they have prevented a lot of big plays. Until Tolles hits Bresnahan at the 40-yard line. Ouch. He's wrestled down to the ground at the Broken Arrow 45-yard line by Schulteis. That's a pass play of 23, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for BA.
Nice protection back in there for Jeremy Tolles, and he hit just right on the button in there to Mark Bresnahan. Nice play.
Bresnahan's a great receiver out of the backfield. He's caught 4 passes this year, but he's certainly a little more threatening than that. Tolles, nice pitch. Nice tackle. Jeff English comes up, and the senior free safety makes a big play and a loss of 7 after the gain of 24.
You know, as the play starts out, it looked like it might be able to work, but there's just no way that they really diagnose it very quickly, and the hammer is put on in there by Jeff English.
Ball back to the 38-yard line, they say. 4-man front, as usual, for the Redskins, and Jeff Smith gets the 3rd sack of the game. What's going on with this defensive group? They had, what, 5 sacks at least last week, maybe 6 against Muskogee. They've got 3 already here in the first half.
Well, you'll have to admit that the front 4 defensive players in there for the Union Redskins are just really winning the battle in the trenches at this particular point. And Jess Smith there, that's just a tremendous effort going around, coming back in, and getting the sack.
Well, after a gain of 24, then a loss of 7 and a sack of 6. So it's 3rd and 23. Tolles is dangerous. He throws it long. Kevin Tolles watches it go in the seats.
That's certainly a smart play in there by Jeremy Tolles, Don, because he was under tremendous amount of pressure and off balance, falling back, and he had to get rid of it.
Jeremy, who's trying to hook up with his younger brother Kevin, who they each have an older brother, Chris, who played on the Broken Arrow squad. Mike Hobbs is back with that cast on his right forearm. Tolles tonight 3 of 5 passing for 62 yards. There's a look at one of the Union co-captains, and there's a look at one of the Broken Arrow seniors, Nathan Burke, or junior actually, Burke is. Nice kick. Hodge catches it at the 40. Good field position, good move to the 50. Mike Hodge inside BA Tiger territory to the 43-yard line, and Union with great field position again. They've driven 58 yards for a touchdown, scored early in the second, then went 45 yards for a touchdown, and now they get the ball back at the Broken Arrow 43, leading 13-0.
And you just have to credit Hobbs there with a great return He's able to put the ball down into Broken Arrow territory, great field positions, and once again, an important series for the defense for the Tigers. They need to hold them.
Gain of 17 on the return. Victory for Richmond run about every game that Coach gets through. He took a shot. There's some hits going on out there.
You know, you'd think with the time that he had, he'd find a receiver, but the Broken Arrow defense did a great job down in the secondary. He does a little fake in there to Scotty Martin, but has plenty of time, but everyone is covered, so the only thing he can do is try to get back to the line of scrimmage, and of course, the runner he is, he's going to make a few yards, but he takes a punishment, but good football players can take it.
Did you see the 4-yard gain? 6 for the 39. Johnson, the sophomore. He's so good at slipping out of tackles. He is so sleek. Michael Johnson will take a look at him again. 6'3", 196-pound sophomore.
Just a nice delivery in there by Poteet. And he doesn't come down with any kind of arm tackling. You've got to really get a hold of him and get his feet up from under him.
You saw the graphic. They're trying to type it in as fast as they can to tell you that was his 20th catch of the year. And he's averaging almost 17 yards a catch.
You don't think he's going to be a favorite target of a young quarterback named Blankenship one of these days?
Gain of 15 on the last play. Martin cuts it back inside. Gets about 5 inside the 20 to the 19, and we're getting into the late stages of the first half. We're under 2 minutes remaining. First half with Union leading 13-0 and driving for more.
And this is really important, as I said a second ago, Don. Broken Arrow really needs to keep Union out of here. Not even let them have a field goal and go in and just try to maybe 2 touchdowns.
There we go. There we go.
To the 15-yard line.
Guys, I'm balanced.
Be-Belt 3rd and 1 coming up for the Redskins with 1:15 remaining. Keep in mind, Ben Roberts has 13 field goals on the season, but it is 3rd and 1. And that should be enough for the first down. Dustin Fletcher, 42, on the bottom of the pile. Scotty Martin, who had over 100 yards last week, is approaching that mark here tonight. Minute to go, first half. Poteet. Again, he fails to intentionally step out of bounds. What a warrior.
He didn't want to get out of bounds in. I think he just kind of pushed out of bounds. He wanted to go ahead and try to run it. But good job by the defensive secondary for Broken Arrow, because they have all of the receivers covered. He's trying to pick up, but you see his foot goes on the line. Tell you what, you don't get past the TCI cameramen. They catch it all.
They do indeed. Nice job by Mark Segovia and the rest of the TCI crew. Live here on Channel 9. Don King, J.V. Haney with you. It's a pleasure to be with you from North Intermediate High School, Broken Arrow, Kirkland Field, where Union leads 13-0, trying to add more before the end of the first half, and Johnson has it, and that's all he has. Down to about the 10-yard line, and that is all. 38 seconds, and the clock is stopped, and the timeout by Union. Be 3rd and about 7 or 8. Again, Union and Broken Arrow first met in 1983. It was in the playoffs. In fact, 1983 was the last time BA won a district championship, and they beat Union in the playoffs that season, 16-3, and the Tigers went on to the state semifinals that season. That was the first time they've met. Union's won 6 in a row, 8 of the last 9. Let's go downstairs during the timeout to Oklahoma.
They have to do that too, Don. I mean, they've got to go deep as soon as they can, but yet one thing you always keep in mind, you don't get it back in 1 or 2 plays.
You're right. Big play here, 3rd and 7. Broken Arrow trying to keep him out of the end zone. Poteet in the corner, and he throws it away. So the BA Tiger defense defense indeed stiffens here and keeps it to possibly 2-touchdown game, because if it's 16-0, if this field goal is converted successfully, you still got 2 touchdowns, two two-point conversions, and you're tied 16-16.
That's a good point, Don, and it's something that coaches will have to make a decision on. But I know that Bill Blankenship would really like to have had a touchdown here, would like to have had 7 points. But he'll be happy. He'll take the 3.
Ben Roberts, 13 field goals on the season. The state record is believed to be 16. He got it, didn't he? Yes, he did. So the field goal at 27 yards out for the outstanding senior kicker, Ben Roberts, who played on the state soccer championship team a couple of seasons ago as a sophomore.
Standing room only crowd. You talk about them standing, Don. I would be afraid if I were down in the crowd to stand for fear someone would slip under me and take my seat.
Well, it is 16-0 Union with 23 seconds left before halftime. And a look at the Broken Arrow group under head coach Rick Jones, who played his high school ball at Ardmore, has a brother, David, who's coaching down at Allen, Texas, and said David could run for mayor this weekend because Allen, Texas had not been doing anything in football for years. David went down, became a head coach this season down there, and turned them into a 5-5 team, and they made the playoffs last night.
Well, I'll tell you, Rick Jones could have won the mayoral contest in Broken Arrow the week after they beat Jinx as well.
Yeah, this past week, you could have written him in as a write-in ballot for whatever office you wanted here in Broken Arrow. This community has caught fire with this Tiger football program and Rick Jones. They won their first playoff game last year at Sand Springs in a snowstorm. It's the first time in a long time that BA had won a playoff game. They hope to have a home field game here next week if they win tonight. Taken at the 2 by Kevin Toll. And out to about the 15-yard line. And that'll be the end of, almost the end of the first half. 19 seconds remaining.
Rick Jones has had success every place he has coached. He's just like Bill Blankenship. Of course, you know, Bill Blankenship followed Rick Jones, followed him to Edmond, followed him after he left Union. I don't think they're going to be making any switches now.
Well,
but
I joked to them both last year when the Jinx job came open. I said, oh, this is good. Rick Jones will go to Jinx, and Bill, you know where you're going, don't you? He goes, no. I said, you're going to Broken Arrow.
You know, I enjoy visiting with both of them. And before the game, they are both relaxed. They've done their jobs, and that's why they're good coaches. They don't get uptight. If they're uptight, they do a tremendous job of concealing it, and it doesn't affect the players.
Yeah, I thought as we see Tolles go to a knee and close out the first half, I thought you brought up a good point. Both coaches were very relaxed before the game. A lot of times in big games like this, they're very, very nervous and uptight, but both coaches are very calm and really collective, their thoughts and whatnot, and seem to be very sure of themselves coming into this game. Well, the Union Redskins get all 16 points in the second period. They drive 58 yards. Head score early in the second period and then get a 45-yard drive after getting a punt and lead 16-0. Downstairs to Jack.
I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe you can tell me in a little while. I do know that the defense held them. We're 2 scores out of it right now. We need to regroup offensively, figure out a way to move the football, play good defense, tackle a little better. We have a half to go, and we're 2 scores out. That's not too much.
I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Coach, let him go.
It was a scoreless first quarter, and then really the big play of the game that set the tone for the second quarter was a blocked punt at midfield by Jeff English. Nathan Burke caught the blocked punt and then ran 11 yards, but Union took over at their own 42-yard line and marched 58 yards, and then early in the second period scored on Sherrod Poteet's 2-yard sneak and made it 7-0, and then Broken Arrow had to punt. The average starting possession for Union in the first half was at their own 40-yard line. For Broken Arrow, their own 22. But in the second quarter alone, Union started their 3 possessions, scoring all 3 times at the Broken Arrow 44. BA, which couldn't even mount a first down, and 1 first down in the second quarter, started at their own 22. So here we go. Ben Roberts will most likely kick it into the end zone. Kevin Tolles and Mark Bresnahan are deep for the 5th-ranked Tigers. who pulled the big upset last week against the Trojans. Taken near the goal line, Kevin Tolles. And he's wrapped up by George McKnight, 31, along with 14, John Hine.
Broken Arrow's offense just really needs to put some yards behind them now, Don. They need to get down and get some points on the board and get a good momentum streak going here in the third period, because, as we well know, Union plays awfully good clock management football when you get into the second half, and especially the fourth quarter.
Well, the center is Nick Gillespie. He snaps it to Tolles, who hands it, I believe, to Matt Cantrell. It is number 20. Cantrell, a 5'8", 175 junior. Again, he is the leading runner on the season. Coming into the game, 520 yards, although he missed the first 3 games of the season. 7 touchdowns and 7.5 yards a carry. That time he picked up a couple. The Union interior defensive line has been sensational this game, as it was last week. Tolles gets an opening though. English, 49, brings him down with the help of the other safety, number 30, Neerman, at the 30-yard line, and that is a Broken Arrow first down.
And also, that is a very, very good play on the part of Jeremy Tolles. He bellies the ball inside, pulls it out, and starts down the line, and sees that seam immediately, reacts to it. Just a great run in there by a very athletic quarterback.
Again, the fake to the fullback, Tolles on the same play. Gets about 3, maybe 4. Give him benefit of the doubt. Give him 4 is Ben McGinnis, 69. Will bring him down, as you'll watch on the replay. 5'10", 235-pound senior.
And another very, very athletic play, because there's not that much room to run in there. He was able to worm his way through and find a little daylight, pick up a few yards.
All right, we'll see if they go upstairs. They only got 1 receiver. He's in motion. That's Swakowski. High formation. Play action. They look for somebody. They got him open. Great call. First down, Broken Arrow across the 40-yard line. And the catch hauled in by Cantrell. Nice work by the BA offense.
It really was, Don, because he got his tight end out there as well. Had him coming across on kind of a drag pattern. Just a very well executed play, bringing Cantrell out of the backfield and getting him out there just for a first down. Very well executed play.
Cantrell again on the quick hitter. Gets through and crawls up near the 50-yard line. Nice job by the Broken Arrow offensive line. The center again is Gillespie. The tackles are Stephen Torres and Josh Moff. The guards are Travis Berg and Mike Pawson also in there.
Jake Harriger, a nice block in there by Harriger, the big tackle. He was really doing some pushing up front.
Tight end on each side. Ramon Richardson, I think, is the tight end nearest to you. So they've added a blocker of an offensive line. Here's Tolles again to keep it. He's dangerous. 40. He's a bird. Jeremy Tolles caught from behind inside the 15-yard line. And who else but Mike Pawson in the saving tackle.
And Jeremy Tolles has really opened this game up here in the third period for the Tigers. And that's the same play he's ran about 3 times, where he pulled the ball out, cut back kind of against the grain, found a little daylight. He came close to scoring there had it not been for a great effort on the part of Hobbs.
Run at 39 yards down to the Union 14-yard line. Best chance for Broken Arrow, first time in the red zone. Play action again. Tolles fires, diving catch at the 6-yard line. Great effort by, I think it was Swakowski. It was Jared Swakowski, who came into this game with only 3 catches. He's caught 2 balls tonight, and that was brilliant right there, the 5'11", 160 senior.
Great catch, but also a great throw, and a throw that had to be thrown where he laid out and caught it in the air in order for it to be completed. But this is exactly what the offense had to do for Broken Arrow. They had to get down here, and they had to do it quick.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2 from the 6. Bresnahan can't find a hole, and he's stuck at the line of scrimmage. 59, Bear Nagy, whose brother, Tony, played at University of Arkansas. In there to lead the charge. No gain. 3rd and 2. You got to go. I think you've got to go for it, even if you don't make it here. You've got to go for it on 4th down. Down 16-0.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah, you really need a 3-point here. A field goal is not what they're looking for.
Tolles, will he keep it? Yes. Does he have room? You bet. Touchdown, BA.
You know, here he stretches it out a little bit farther, but at the same time, he's not looking to pitch. He's looking to carry like he did on those others, and you can see getting over for the touchdown.
For the Broken Arrow quarterback, 6'1", 184-pound senior. That is his 11th rushing touchdown of the season to go with 9 passing touchdowns. That's 20 touchdowns he has accounted for on this BA offense this season.
And they're going for it just like you had talked on. They're going to go for the 2.
They're going to try and cut the lead in half if they can convert the 2-point conversion. And again, they're in the wishbone, and Hooks is the right halfback. He applies the block. Toes, worked in. So the Broken Arrow Tigers get the second half kickoff, and Jeremy Tolles and the crew march 86 yards to cut the lead in.
Back against the grain just a little bit and gets everyone flowing in one direction, and he's awfully hard to stop when he does it.
Well, let's see what Nathan Burke does here with the kickoff. 7:52 to go in the 3rd. This one angling toward the corner, taken near the 5 by Chopin. Senior looks for some room and gets dropped by another senior, Maurice Wallace. And we got a clip on the play. Let's go downstairs to our partner, Jack Bunch.
One thing that was interesting on that last drive, Don, was the fact that Jeremy Tolles did such a good job, obviously, of taking him down the field. But there were some things that they obviously saw in the first half and corrected on the Broken Arrow sideline. As, of course, Union we see here is going to be marched back farther. One thing I noticed is they changed their blocking scheme so that some of the linebackers who were keying on the quarterback Tolles, they were eliminated from the play. And also, Jeremy did a much better job of being patient on the offense, waiting for things to open up, and he cut it inside. In the first half, each and every time he tried to take it completely to the outside. This time, partially because of blocking, also because of his patience, he was able to take it up inside, score the touchdown, and the 2-point conversion.
Good point.
Those are the adjustments that you see good coaches and good teams make at halftime. Now we'll see what the Union can do maybe to counteract those adjustments.
Poteen on the play action. Zips it out for the tight end. And a nice open field tackle by Nathan Burke, a gain of 7. This Broken Arrow defense can play. They threw 4 consecutive shutouts in the middle of the season. The team record was 5, set back in 1937. And that year, JB, they had 9 shutouts in that 1937 team.
Well, now that's playing some defensive football.
And there's a first down for George McKnight and the Union Redskins.
Every series in this 3rd period, as we move to the 4th period, Don, will be so big for both teams because the good teams will come back. And Broken Arrow and Union both a good football team, as we saw Broken Arrow coming back in the 3rd period. Now, will Union counter? Will they go back and put points on the board, or will they turn the ball back to Broken Arrow with a chance to tie?
In the first half, Union punted the first 2 times they had the ball, but scored the last 3 times they had the ball. Here's another tight end. Catch at the 40, then he tossed it up. It's a live football. Chris Climate. Now they're going to say it's down. The referee signifying that it is a live ball, but back up near midfield, one of the officials is saying he thinks it's down, and they're going to rule it down back at the 40-yard line. Chris Cox, the 6'6", 220-pound senior tight end, made the grab, and let's see.
We'll let you make up your mind on this. Nice catch in there. Really brought the ball in nice. Talking about Chris Cox.
That's a fumble, Coach.
Great camera work by the TCI camera crew, giving you an opportunity to make your decision.
15-yard gain and a first down. First down at the 40. McKnight to the outside. He's met by David Irvin, the cornerback, who had a team-high 14 stops last week against Jinx.
You know, in close games like this, breaks, and that's a break. That's a big break for Union, that they were able to maintain possession of the football. Those are the difference sometimes in winning and losing.
Gain of 5 or 6 in the last play. Slot, a wing back on each side. Poteet checking the play. Neil Oliver change the play. McKnight, just a toss sweep. They'll get about 3. They're up near midfield as we approach the midway mark of this third period. Score to pass along, Enid 7, Stillwater 7. Enid wins that game, they win the district championship. If Stillwater wins that game and Washington wins tonight, then Washington's the district champion. McKnight on 3rd and 2. First down, chalk it up to the Redskins, their 15th of the game.
Union keeping the ball on the ground, eating that clock up. We talk about clock management. You'll see both of these coaches be able to execute it very, very well as the game comes to an end and we get in that fourth quarter. You'll really see it executed.
So from the Broken Arrow 48, or excuse me, from the Union 48, a gain of 4 to the Broken Arrow 48. First and 10 for George McKnight, who's now in at running back. And Sherry Poteet. Deep drop, throwing deep. Johnson over the shoulder catch at the 20. Touchdown Union. He made the catch with one hand. That's the kind of athlete this kid is. Wait a minute, we got a flag down. Offensive pass interference against BA, it'll be declined.
That's a beautiful play, and he was covered in there just about as close as you could cover him. Nathan Burke was there, but just a great catch, but a great throw as well by Poteet, and a good fake, first of all, by George McKnight that kind of neutralized everybody in the middle.
We'll see if they go for 2 or they're going to go for 2. That would be the obvious thing to do. Look at that.
Oh, that's just a great catch. Look, had it up on his shoulder. Is that camera work? Pat those guys on the back again.
Great job. Give them a raise. Give us all a raise. 48-yard pass play from Poteet.
Are you asking me
to
for
Johnson?
a vote?
Sherry Poteet's 20th touchdown pass of the year. School record 32 by Justin Fuente, or 31 rather. Here's the 2-pointer. Bang! If he caught it, he paid for it. He did not. So after Johnson got the 6, he couldn't get the 2. And with 5:31 to go in the third, Union's back on top, 22-8.
There as well.
Scoring play. All right, Kevin Tolles, what are you going to do? They let him go at the goal line. To the 10, shakes one, still on his feet, and then he loses the ball. Union has it. Boy, there is a pile down there.
They're
still wrestling. They're still wrestling for it. Uh-oh, look out now, boys. Don't get out of control. Bresnahan. Easy. They're going to give it to Union, I do believe.
Well, the initial there, very early on, they did.
Eric Jones telling them to get off the field. This is a friendly rivalry. This really is a great rivalry. Let's take a look at the replay. Johnny Sherblank, God bless him, he's about the only official, if it's questionable. If that guy's return man has it at the goal line, he'll let you run it out. Everybody else always blows the whistle. They're going to change that rule one of these days. Look at that hit.
Yeah, great hit in there that you can see the ball coming out. I'll tell you what, that's a mad scramble.
I think it was 29, Adrian McKittrick with the hit. The ball at the 13-yard line. Martin inside the 10.
That first replay, did you see Scott Martin in there trying to separate all of them? The little guy was pushing two big guys back from one another. The peacemaker.
Martin and McKnight have had big game. They had 115 yards combined rushing in the first half. Poteet to Martin again. Look at the trap. Look at the block that Weedover gives him. Oh, and Nagy, rather, 59. Nobody runs the trap better. Those guys pull and just destroy people, don't they?
They just do an excellent job, and then the backs do an excellent job of playing off the blocks. And there you see them coming out there.
Look at 59. Bang. Actually, Weedover didn't hit anybody. Ball's at the 5-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Big play for the Broken Arrow defense. If they hold Union to 3 here, they're still in the game.
Oh, yes, they are.
Poteet dives for the first down marker with 4 minutes left in the 3rd. Union leading 22-8. After Broken Arrow scored the first time they got the ball to start this second half to cut a 16-0 deficit to 16-8. But Union answered right back on a 48-yard pass play to Michael Johnson to make it 22-8. Then Kevin Tolles fumbled the kickoff return, and Union has marched from the 13 of Broken Arrow down to the 2 where it's 1st and goal.
Broken Arrow fans will talk about the almost fumble that they have recovered after their long drive there in the opening of the 3rd period. That'll be a coffee shop topic for a while.
We'll be talking about that one at AJ's Donut Shop here in Broken Arrow tomorrow and next week, I guarantee you. And at the, of course, the Broken Arrow Arby's, the sponsor here on live coverage on TCI. I'd like to thank Arby's, Crown Auto World, and the rest of their fine folks. Crown Auto World and Williams Companies. Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic Center, and Sharon Poteet has his 2nd touchdown of the game. Both from 2 yards out. And the Redskin offense is marching again.
And you saw
it's 28-8.
The packed Union stands.
Into the tree it goes. And Roberts' PAT now makes it 29-8. 3:57 to go in the 3rd. And then when Como got hurt, Poteet started the last 4 games. Look at this. Bresnahan tried to return the kick. He didn't have much luck either. Broken Arrow crowd's hollering for a late hit. Let's take a look and see who it was.
Have to look that ball right in there. Oh, that's just a good hit.
George McKnight.
Yes.
The ball at the 8-yard line.
Well, now we'll see the leadership of senior Jeremy Toll. See what he can do. See if he can take him right back down the field.
Nothing doing on 1st down. Second down and long. Here's some scores for you. Central trailing McAllister at half. Central needs to win that game to have a home field advantage next week. Jinx leading at the half. Muskogee all over Rogers. That's expected. Washington with a possible district championship. Bartlesville trying to put the clamps on Sapulpa. Bartlesville's won 2 of their last 3 after losing a 4 overtime game from Ponca City a few weeks ago. And Sapulpa would like to win that game to have a winning season.
Bartlesville's really come along since they upset Sand Springs, haven't they? They really have kind of put their act together.
Well, the ball at the 8, which is the original line of scrimmage, would make it 3rd and 10. You really have a hard time trying to open up your offense down here, don't you?
When you have your back to the wall, it's very difficult. But this is a tremendously big 3rd down for the Broken Arrow Tigers.
And again, this Redskins team, which has played tremendous field position all year, doing it again. Toll unloads, zips the bullet, and there are 3 defenders there, and Mike takes the big bullet.
Tolles really has good mechanics when he rolls back and sets up and throws the football. You get a good look at him here. Now, he's got a strong arm. Sets up, nice follow through. Zipped that ball downfield about 35 yards.
Well, here's Nathan Burke. Another punt inside his own end zone.
And they're going to be sending everyone again.
Scotty Martin lined up on the right end, as you see. Jeff English on the other end, and they are dangerous in this type of situation. The snappers, Bo Conklin. Again, kind of a quick kick to it by Burke. It's touched by a Union player, and the Tigers get it at the 35-yard line. Matt Cantrell, the blocking back, ran all the way downfield, and I think he's the guy that covered it at the 35. Well, that's a break they were looking for.
It looked like maybe it was Scotty Martin that was back down there. Gets involved, takes that bad bounce, hits his foot. He didn't see the ball, and back here the other Union receiver was really motioning him away, but Scott Martin didn't see it. Big break for Broken Arrow.
We got something going on here. Well, the Tigers needing a break, get one, and maybe that will turn the tide here. Down by 3 touchdowns. That won't help. Here comes Nathan Burke in with a play. Burke is one of their leading receivers on the team. Again, they're out, or one of their leading receivers, at least. Their leading receiver when he went out was Russell Green. Unfortunately, Russell broke his leg, and last year missed a big part of the season with a leg injury. So our thoughts certainly with Russell Green. Cantrell set into the slot there, or the wing. 1st and 15 from the 30. Toll dodges a bullet, throws it to Bresnahan. Almost intercepted by Hobbs. How was he something? 7 picks last year to lead the city, and he's got 3 this season.
I tell you what, that was a great defensive move because it looked like for sure that Bresnahan was wide open. He'd kind of come out of the backfield and made a little sweep up on the near side, and out of nowhere Hobbs comes. Couldn't quite hold on to it, but great play.
That cast cost him right there. You can tell it was all a fingertip catch, and he couldn't squeeze it with that right hand. They're doing some hitting, aren't they? 2nd and 15. Tolles has room to run. Instead, thrown. What a catch! Oh, did he? Yes, he did hang on to it. Kevin Tolles at the 44-yard line stops the clock with 2:06 to go in the 3rd. And Tolles had made a big touchdown catch last week, just like this.
And what a nice toss in there by Jeremy Tolles on the run. Great toss, great catch.
7th first down of the night for BA. 2nd time in Union territory.
Oh, that's just a tremendous catch right there.
Bresnahan almost got loose. Caught at the ankles by Joel Eilertz, their leading tackler. Eilertz number 2, a 6'4", 197 senior linebacker. Bresnahan good for about 3 on the play.
Nice play by Bresnahan.
Kevin Tolles in motion. Jeremy Tolles lobs it. Complete. Cantrell first down. Chris Pavley brings him out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Gain of 11. Stops the clock with 90 seconds left.
And there's one thing for sure, that Jeremy Tolles, the senior quarterback, he is not going in any way to let up. They're going to continue to fight, and hey, there's still a lot of football time left here in this game.
Opening up the offense. Knocked away by Schulteis, and the Broken Arrow fans are on their feet, thinking that Schulteis might have grabbed the back of the intended receiver, Swikoski.
They were asking for a little interference there on that play, but gosh, Jeremy Tolles just has to impress you when he comes out here and throws the football. He's throwing it right in there, right on the button, and he's having to thread the needle. Might have been a little shove going on there.
Jess Smith with yet another big play, number 52 for Union. Third leading tackler on the team, 5'10", 215 junior, the only underclassman to start on this Union defense. Bresnahan got only a yard on the draw, so it's 3rd and 9 from the Union 29. We're under a minute remaining in the third period. Broken Arrow down by 3 touchdowns after they cut it to 16-8 this quarter. Big play here. Tolles incomplete, looking for Swikoski again. It'll be 4th down. They'll have to go for it. I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
Well, you're right, Don. They have to go for it because a 3-point play here is not going to be that effective. Although you can look at it, if they could get 3 with 11 and another 8, they still just not enough points there. They need to go for the 7.
Tolles 7 of 13 tonight, 115 yards.
Oh, that's right into the TCI camera.
Indeed. Receiver each side. Tolles looking for his brother Kevin on the slant in. Instead, fakes and throws deep. And Kevin Tolles made a dive in the end zone over the pom-poms. What are they doing on the field? Oh, my. Oh, my.
Oh, they're gathering them up now.
I guarantee you they'll be at the end line here in just a second. That was a 4th down play, and so Union takes over at their own 29-yard line.
I tell you, Jeremy Tolles, he's really scrambling for his life back there, and it looks like he is going to be wrapped up real tough by Matt Philpott when he gets it off. And those girls sold out, didn't they? They turned it over, left their pom-poms.
41 seconds left in the third quarter. Broken Arrow stacking the defense quite a bit here, knowing that they're going to run. And McKnight surges forward across the 30, about the 33, the 34. They'll mark it. A nice gain on 1st down for the Union Redskins. They're starting to add up some pretty good rushing totals here.
They really are, and I'll tell you what they'll do. And having watched Bill Blankenship over the years, why, they'll get you set up, and you think that they're just going to try to grind it out and kill the clock, and about the time you think they're going to set on it, well, they'll go deep with it on the pass. So they will not waver a great deal from their diversified offense.
Into the third quarter at Kirkland Field. Your score is the 2nd-ranked Union Redskins leading the 5th-ranked Broken Arrow Tigers 29-8. They're on their feet on the other side. On the team brings McKnight out of bounds past midfield at the 46-yard line, a gain of 20.
Nice little pitch out here, just pitching kind of a sweep, but he gets a great block out there by number 25. Michael Johnson cuts inside and able to get the 1st down. But what a combination with George McKnight and Scott Martin.
I mentioned at halftime, JV, about the tight, well, I'll get to my story in a moment. Let me get you to Touchdown Friday nights for the latest scores and highlights from around Green Country. Catch Touchdown Friday night with Mike Ziegenhorn on Oklahoma's Channel 8. Zig and the crew broadcasting live tonight from Melton Stadium over on Webster on the west side. Touchdown Friday night for Oklahoma's Channel 8 at 10:15 tonight. Of course, they'll be covering the Webster, or excuse me, the Central McAllister game. McAllister wins that game, they wrap up 2nd and have a home field advantage next week. And if Central wins, likewise, they'll finish 2nd in the district to Ada. George McKnight pops it up. Do they say it is a fumble? Yes, they do. Turnover, Union, and the Tigers get it back with just 18 seconds gone in the third. There's Maurice recovered it.
And we'll get another look at it right here. Just a great run in there again by George McKnight.
He just coughed it up.
And I'm sure the Union fans will think he was down on that one. Two very controversial plays that they'll be talking about over coffee.
Tattooed by Schulteis. We're opening up the offense a bit.
And the Union secondary, they'll be trying to play just a little softer. They're not going to let anything deep happen if they can possibly help it. They'll give them those small gainers. Nice tackle in there by Schulteis.
Tolles again, first down, and knew exactly where he needed to throw it. Swikoski made the catch. Again, Jared Swikoski, 5'11", 160 senior, is having the game of his life. He came into this game with only 3 grabs this season, and he's done that tonight. There's time, Coach, telling you.
Oh, there's a lot of time left in the football game.
Ball up to the 30-yard line. Oh, Cantrell couldn't hang on to it. Eilert's number 2 and Nagy 59 combined on the hit.
Jeremy Tolles, if he can see the receiver, he's going to drill it right in there. He's not, you know, the guy doesn't have to be standing out there by himself, Don. He would go for him.
Tolles, who's hitting 53% of his passes coming into the season. And the thing that impresses me more than his 9 of 17 tonight for 127 yards, no interceptions, and only 3 on the season. Jess Smith with a sack. That's the 4th one tonight, and the 10th in the last 2 games for the Union defense.
They get great surge off their front 4 on the defense there, Union does. Just a tremendous amount of pressure. Matt Philpott starting it. Jess Smith ends it.
3rd and 16. Well, they'll have to punt now with 10 minutes to go in the game, trailing 29-8. It was 16-0 Union at halftime. Broken Arrow got the ball to start the second half, marched 86 yards. Jeremy scoring the 6-yard touchdown run on an option, and then ran for the 2-point conversion and cut the lead in half, 16-8. But Union came right back with a 48-yard bomb from quarterback Sherrod Poteet to receiver Michael Johnson. The sophomore hauled it in from 48 yards out. It was 22-8. And then on the kickoff, the ensuing kickoff, Broken Arrow fumbled the return, and Union got it at the BA 13 and scored 4 plays later to make it 29-8. That's where we have been since. We're now in the 4th quarter, and Mike Hobbs has it. And there's a break with 10 minutes to go in the game. Union has the ball in a 3-touchdown lead. Friday night in a playoff game against the 3rd-place team from the other district. Could be Sand Springs, could be Washington, could be Enid. Scotty Martin on the run, and there's a penalty down. Let's go down to Jack Buns.
You know, one of the things that I really noticed in this football game is how things certainly turned around on one play. Keep in mind, it was 16-8 in the 1st quarter. Union fumbled the ball. Broken Arrow recovered it, took it all the way down to the 12-yard line, about where I'm standing here now. They had all the momentum. No question they would have scored a touchdown if they would have then gotten the 2. It would have been tied at 16 apiece. Instead, they said it was no fumble. Union goes the other way, scores. Then the kickoff is fumbled. Union scores again, and, you know, it's now 29-8. But it's funny how just one play really turned things here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the Broken Arrow fans will be talking about that one. And it reminded me, it was the same type of play in which the receiver was going down, the same type of plays you had last week in the OU Nebraska game. Very similar. OU's in the game, then after that, the roof came in.
Well, there's no doubt that that particular play will really be discussed.
Poteet in a
world of hurt.
That'll be a loss of about 8 yards.
I'm telling you, it could have been a loss of about 16 yards. For a second, it looked like it was inevitable it's going to be at about a 16-yard loss. He was in a delay game for a few seconds there, wasn't he?
I think he's running some clock. 9 minutes to go in the game. Loss of 6, actually. After the penalty of holding and then the sack, it's 2nd and 22 at their own 41-yard line.
Can't give enough credit to both of these football teams. This has been a very, very hard-fought game, and tempers a little bit, but you can only expect it. But the kids have been very sportsmanlike.
Draw play to Scotty Martin, right up the middle. Hello to midfield and beyond. Down to the Broken Arrow 45-yard line. That'll be a run of 14 yards.
You know, if you're one of those 6'4" linemen out there, you've got to wonder, where is that little guy? Because he goes right through him. It just looks like that they miss him. He's a little stack of dynamite.
Well, he started the season on the right foot. Over 100 yards rushing against Washington. Last week, over 100 yards rushing against Muskogee. Redskins have called a timeout with 7:57 to go. I talked at halftime about the Tyget dance team and how they have been doing a great job talking to the schools, the elementary and middle schools. Well, the Broken Arrow football team does that. They call it the Tiger Pack Pal program, where players go to the elementary school classrooms. Patrick Jackson of the Broken Arrow team has made numerous trips to Indian Springs Elementary for disabled students, and that's certainly to be applauded on this Broken Arrow football team under the guidance of Rick Jones. Broken Arrow coming in
to go play a first-place team. They have beaten the first-place team in this district, so there's no gimmies when these four teams go.
3rd and 9. McKnight on the screen. He's close to the first down, and then he loses the ball. It's picked up by another Redskin. Oh, my. Well, that pretty much typifies the night it's been for Union.
Who picked it up in there? It looked like it was
Chris Cox.
Chris Cox picking it up. Nice screen pass. Nice setup out in front. You can see the big lineman going, number 78, Corey Klein. Well, there the football goes.
Cox, remember, was the guy that fumbled what was thought to be a fumble that was ruled. Actually, he was down on the ground, and Broken Arrow thought they had the ball in Union territory, as Jack Nuns pointed out a moment ago, trailing just 16-8, and instead Union marched down the field after that call. Might have put it out of reach. We'll see. Broken Arrow gets it back, and that's the second turnover here in the second half. And now the Redskins are starting to get a little sloppy as the Tigers have it. Josh Mogg made the recovery, 5'10", 230-pound sophomore defensive end. Well done, Josh.
Well, we were just talking about hard-hitting, competitive football, and regardless of what it is on the clock and on the board, these two teams are going to play as though it were nothing.
Nathan Burke. Knocked him out of bounds.
And Broken Arrow is going to be trying to get out of bounds every chance they get. Stop that clock. But they're still looking at it. Another replay here. You see Jeremy Tolles on the move. And I'll tell you what, Don, he's impressed me with throwing the football. He doesn't back off a second there. Nice catch by Nathan Burke as well.
I think I said this would be the second consecutive year. Rick Jones, 2 years of taking into the playoffs. They also went to the playoffs. BA did in '94. Going up with Booker T. Washington. Draw play, Bresnahan. Nowhere to go. The Tigers also went to the playoffs in '93 to Booker T. Washington, where they lost as well. be the
Legal procedure against the Tigers.
You understand? You understand?
fourth straight year that the Tigers go to the playoffs. I meant to look up Union, see how long they've gone to the playoffs. It's been quite a while since they haven't gone to the playoffs. 7 minutes to go in the game. It's second down, 10 after no gain on the draw play. Jeremy wanting to go upstairs again, zips it. A lot of mustard on that one, and Burke gets out of bounds. Stops the clock with 6:49 to go. Gain of about 5, 3rd and 5 coming up.
Just look across the state, Don, though, it's 6A, and there are no gimmies, even though they take half of each district into the playoffs. If you play a fourth-place team, it's not going to be an automatic win. It's not going to be an automatic advancement in the playoffs. It's tough all the way down the line.
Jeremy to this side. Oh, off the fingertips of his younger brother.
Kevin came in for Jeremy, so all the way around Jeremy came in for Kevin.
The Redskins have been to the state playoffs every year in the 90s. Last year they did not go to the state playoffs since 1989.
Broken Arrow going for it, Don. Big fourth down.
6:45 to go in the game, trailing by 3 touchdowns. Jeremy directing traffic, looking for help. Double covered is Nathan Burke, out of bounds at midfield, and the Redskins will take over.
I think Jeremy that time was really trying to find his brother, Kevin, number 4. He got knocked over by a linebacker as he was coming out. Never was able to recover and get where he was supposed to be.
So Union will get the ball back here midway in the 4th quarter, leading 29-8. As you take a look at the rankings with Broken Arrow knocking off Jinx last week, what a sweet victory it was for Rick Jones and the Tigers. Moore moves up as the #1 team in the state in 6A. They're the only undefeated team in the state. Lions at 9-0. Jinx #2. According to some, Union ranked #2 according to others. George McKnight, we're about 6, maybe 7. According to the Tulsa World, they have Jinx #2, Union 3, Stillwater 4, Putnam North 5, Broken Arrow 6, Midwest City 7, Booker T. Washington 8, Norman 9, and Muskogee 10. So again, 4 teams out of this district in the top 10.
That shows you just how tough it is.
Poteet around the end. He'll have the first down. 24-14. Stillwater. In the 4th quarter. Jim Hillman bringing a score from next door. 24-14 Stillwater in the 4th quarter.
Split the formation, okay?
Nice open field tackle in there by Nathan Burke
Split the formation.
on Sherrod Poteet.
There's Johnny Sherblane.
Get the middle of the formation.
Against the Redskins.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're too far over here. Hey.
It'll be first of Broken Arrow.
Ken Ellick, the athletic director, does a tremendous job here. One of the largest schools in the state. A lot of kids participating.
The #1 school in the state when it comes to attendance has been Knight. Continues to run the clock at 5.5 minutes to go. Of course, Broken Arrow, the name derived from a Creek ceremony following the Civil War, in which an arrow was broken to symbolize a reunion of 2 Civil War factions. And of course, the place name of Broken Arrow, here in this particular spot of Oklahoma, derived from an Indian community. I'll let Jamie pronounce that for you.
I don't believe I can pronounce that one, Don.
Knight tried to go downfield. Rene Torres brought him down for a loss of 1. Kalachaka. That's the best I can do on that.
That's good enough. No one's going to dispute you on that.
Crescent City of Broken Arrow set here in 1902. hoping his defense can stop them and he can get back on the scoreboard. It was 16-8 at one time. It's now 29-8. George McKnight has been a very big part of it. Flag down again. McKnight down at the 20-yard line. He holding, and they'll bring this one back.
Most of the time when they drop it right then, that's it. That's the signal that Johnny Sherblink gave on the very first play in Moscow.
Well, the games this year have lasted a lot longer than they normally have. A lot of that has to do with the change of possession. They'll stop the clock. They stop the clock on these penalties as well.
And most of the school officials, as well as the game officials, feel that the state association will discontinue that rule next year, regardless of whether the National Federation continues with it or not.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, I would too. It just, makes the games too long.
Especially when they're 29-8 with 4 minutes left.
Yes.
Well,
it takes almost 3 hours now to play a high school game. And, for years there, if it took 2 hours, you thought they used to start at 8 o'clock and you were always through by 10. But now you go.
There is a timeout on the field. Union has called a timeout. When we,
I think they look happy now.
3rd and 30. Putting some pressure on Poteet right through the arms of Scotty Martin. And that'll set up a punting situation for Ben Roberts. Again, your scores in the other district. Finds Washington shutting out Sand Springs 28-0. And Stillwater leading Enid in the 4th quarter 24-14. So if those scores stand up, it'll be Booker T. Washington winning the district, Stillwater 2nd, Sand Springs 3rd, and Enid 4th. And if that holds up, that formula, then Broken Arrow will travel to Booker T. Washington next week, and Sand Springs will come to Union next week. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Be an interesting matchup. Young team at Sand Springs.
Flag on the play.
Muskogee would go to Stillwater, and Enid would go to Jinx.
And you look at all 4 of those games, Don, there is no gimmies. There's no cinches.
The 5-yard step off.
That's going to be 4th and 35. Watches this one sail to the 10, and that's close. They're going to rule it at the 20. Touchback. Ron Gasaway said he slid in, so momentum carried him to the goal line. So we'll take a break and come back and wrap this one up. Game Union leading by 3 touchdowns. Broken Arrow has the ball, and Jeremy Tolles goes back to work. Unloads it for his younger brother, the junior Kevin Tolles, at the 35-yard line, and that's good for 15 and a Broken Arrow first down.
And not a bad combination. Toes to toes.
It worked last week in the upset over Jinx. They had the big pass play to get Broken Arrow the lead. They never relinquished. They work at it again.
That's 11 or 12 yards of play. Stops the clock to move the change. Immediately, the Broken Arrow Tigers are right back up on the line. Jeremy has them there. As soon as they crank the clock and set the change, they're going to snap the ball. That's that's clock management again.
Burke needing to get out of bounds. Look at him wrestle his way to the out-of-bound marker. He stops the clock with 3:16. Now, you might be saying, why are they doing this? What does it really matter? Well, I think it does matter.
Oh,
because you got another game next week.
You've got another game, and you play for the situations, and you're playing against a good football team here, and you can just kind of imagine yourself, hey, we're down, say, 2 points.
Right.
And then we want to try to get in field goal range. You get there, you want to try to score. Yeah, this is great practice, great rehearsal.
From the 46 to the Union 46 on the last play, and now here is Suakoski making yet another grab at the Union 42.
Nice throw. It's getting out of bounds, catch.
And that's good for a first down. Jeremy will play basketball this winter, more than likely, for John Phillips. Incomplete. Well, Matt Holliday, the Stillwater Pioneers, leading again 24-14 over Enid in the fourth quarter. Holliday trying to establish a state record for touchdown passes. He needed 2 tonight to tie, 3 to break the record.
And he'll be a highly sought-after recruit.
The younger brother of Josh Holliday, the fine baseball player for OSU, and of course the son of Tom Holliday, the pitching coach. Another sack for Union. I think it was Eilert's that time. Might have been
Brandon Nagy, I think it was.
Thank you. That was blocked out on the play. A loss of 8. Third down and 18 coming up from midfield. 2:40 to go. Tolles looking to the sideline, overthrows Nathan Burke, and a nice catch by Benny Dixon, the Union athletic director. Caught that one on the sideline.
Benny Dixon does a tremendous job at Union, as Ken Ellen does a great job here at Broken Arrow. Both of them very innovative, create a lot of interesting games. Excellent job of game management. Both districts lucky to have young men like that heading up their athletic department.
Well, it was standing room only tonight. Man, they were wedged in here at Kirkland Field. 29-8, Union leading. 2:30 to go. Jeremy on fourth down overthrows everybody, but wait, a flag is down inside the 15-yard line. Going to be defensive pass interference, I have a feeling.
I would think so. Kevin Tolles indicated that.
Why do they have to walk 20 yards to make the call? That's your beef in basketball, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's one of my big beefs in basketball, when they sprint from under the basket out to the center court. And I always say, you know, they check the crease in their trousers and make sure they're directly over the line, and then they give it. But that's a part of the mechanics in football. I think it's a little different. I think they really need to do what Johnny does, simply because you do know, the fans know exactly what the call was.
Jeremy Tolles, college prospect, the quarterback. Hands off. Mark Bresnahan is smothered. Smith 52 and McGinnis 69. And this Union defense, JB, has come alive. After Jinx rattled them for 42, they've stuffed Muskogee for 7, and they've stuffed Broken Arrow for 8 in the last 2 weeks.
They have really, and I think that's what it was, Don. You hit the nail on the head, because they had a wake-up call after Jinx.
What is Gary?
This is a defense that, again, gave up a lot of points last year, a lot of big plays, and Steve Spavataw and his defensive group regrouped, said, let's be more of a reactionary type defense, and this group has been sensational. When you keep in mind, you throw out the Jinx 42-14 loss, the most points they've given up was 24 when they beat Fort Smith Northside 42-24. Other than that game, which was the second game of the year, and Tolles just unloads it as far as he can. Incomplete inside the 10, down near the 5. You throw out the Jinx game, the most points scored against Union this year, 15 points. Well, you throw out the Fort Smith game as well. I mean, that's saying something.
Steve Spavataw does such a tremendous job. He's a defensive coordinator at Union High School. He and
shake it up on the play. Minute 58 remaining. It's 4th and 15 at the Union 40. Tolles again wants to go deep. Double covered. Touchdown, BA. Wow, what a catch by Kevin Tolles. And the Tigers are on the board with a minute 50 remaining. 40-yard touchdown.
right here, and this is a tremendous throw in there by Jeremy Tolles. He's got quite an arm. He throws that ball, almost 50 yards. Double coverage. Look at his brother just go up, get the ball, take it away from the defender. Let me have it. Steps right on the end zone. You know that when this replay comes back, that Jeff English is going to wish that he'd have clamped on a little harder on that because he had it in his hands.
A district-leading 6-touchdown catch for Kevin Tolles this season. The extra point by Bresnahan is up and good. So with 1:50 remaining, we'll get an onside kick. It's now 29-15. Tigers are 2 touchdowns in the hole with 1:50 remaining. Don't go away. We got an onside kick coming up.
And you say it's impossible for those who saw the San Diego State, Wyoming, the WAC conference game last night. Just about the time you think it's impossible to come back, they do come back. Onside kick, recover it, 2 plays go in. Do it again. You just can't discount it. Yogi Berra didn't say it for nothing, Don. It's never over till it's over.
Well, it is over between Stillwater and Enid. 31-20 is that final score. And Washington is ahead 34-7 over Sand Springs. So it again looks as though the Hornets will win the district. Stillwater with their win will finish runner-up. Sand Springs 3rd and Enid 4th. That means the Tigers won't have to travel very far next week. If this one holds up, the Tigers will travel to Washington, to S.E. Williams Stadium, and take on the Hornets for the 3rd time in the playoffs in the last 4 years. Washington will host Broken Arrow in the playoffs.
Well, I think you would agree, Don, that Broken Arrow has a great chance in the playoff regardless who they play. We've seen Washington play. We've seen Broken Arrow play. They are very, very competitive between the two. That would be a toss-up type game, as most playoff games are.
Well, I just hope they all win and then kick the dickens out of the teams from the West. That's all I care. Here's the onside. He could be covered it in. Maurice Wallace with the recovery. And the Tigers have it with 1:50 remaining. Wait a minute. They're not going to give Union the ball, are they?
Well, I thought it hit the Union
It hit
player.
the Union player, and it had gone 10 yards, but it had gone 10 yards.
No, it's going to be Broken Arrow's ball. Well, I think the ball definitely went 10 yards to me. Hit the... I couldn't...
Jack, what do you think?
What it looked like as we were looking at it, what onside kick went right off the chest of Union. Then number 2 comes in there. He never had possession from my point of view, and it looked like Union recovered the football. They're going to give it to Broken Arrow, though.
Well, let's take a look. Watch number 17, Wallace, come in your screen.
Well, it definitely goes 10 yards.
Blackwood reached under there and grabbed it away from him, didn't it?
That looked like there was a little mud job going on. He mugged him right underneath there and came out with a
Nice
football.
job by both players. Wallace recovered it. You know, Wallace is one of those kids that...
And another great shot by the GCI cameraman.
Is it caught? Yes, it is. The clock's running with 1:44.
Well, you're going to see the Broken Arrow hurry-up offense here as we see the game clock come up with 1:38.
Broken Arrow down by 2 touchdowns. 29-15. Minute and a half remaining as you saw the clock. Tolles wants to at least throw it out of bounds, and he can't do it. The pass to Burke is good for about 2 or 3 yards. That's about it. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Minute 14 remaining.
Look for this deep one again with the Tolles brothers.
Over the middle, Kevin Tolles took a wallop. Eilers intercepts, and this one's all over. Oh, my. Kevin Tolles just got punished, and you can't fault him any. He took a shot.
He took a shot. His brother others there consoling him. That's a nice throw again. I mean, he puts it right in there, but see that headgear came right up under the ball. And a very alert Joel Ireland. Hey, he's right there at the right place at the right time, and this pretty much now puts it in the bank for Union.
I think it was Adrian McKittrick, number 49, or maybe it's English, I beg your pardon. I think it was English 49 that applied the leather to Kevin Toll. Ouch. So this one now, for all intents and purposes, is done. 29-15. Crown Auto World will present our players of the game after this game. Josh Blankenship is in at quarterback. And Scotty Martin is still in at running back. Martin and McKnight have been brilliant in this game. McKnight has a touchdown. Sherrod Poteet has run for 2 and thrown for 1. There was no score after 1, although Union blocked a punt late in the first quarter. They turned that into 7 points when they drove 58 yards, scored very early in the second period, then forced Broken Arrow to punt deep in their own territory, in fact from their own end zone. And Union drove 45 yards to their next score, and then got a field goal late in the first half to make it 16-0 at halftime. Broken Arrow got the ball for the first time in the second half, drove 85 yards to make it 16-8, but Union came right back to make it 22-8, recovered the ensuing kickoff on a fumble, scored to make it 29-8. Broken Arrow scores late to give you your final score at 29-15. We'll come back with our players of the game, tell you who's coming up in the playoffs next week as we continue on TC of the season. And the Union Redskins run their record to 9-1 in the regular season, and will finish up runners-up to Jinx in the district race. And there are our crown players of the game. Mike Hobbs will get credit for the defensive side. We appreciate their help. And for the Broken Arrow Tigers, they will close their very successful season. A well-played campaign for the Tigers under Rick Jones, overall at 8-2. They will finish 4th in the district, and the Tigers will go to Booker T. Washington next week. And meanwhile, either Enid or Sand Springs will be heading to Union next week. JB, your thoughts on this game?
Well, Don, we mentioned this before we went on the air, that it may not be as close as we would like for it to be. It would be impossible to have picked a winner, but I'm not surprised at the spread. But again, just congratulations to both teams. Very well prepared. Excellent high school football game. A great crowd. Great hospitality here at Broken Arrow. It was a lot of fun.
We'd like to thank the people, Ken Ellett here, the athletic director, and the rest of the crew here in Broken Arrow. So for our statistician, Jim Trick,